Hey guys, Fruglio here, your friendly underdog of Yu-Gi-Oh! And in this video I have a replay for you today, a GOAT format replay where we have me at the bottom here piloting a Chaos GOAT control style deck, and up here we have some sort of, pure stall deck. But this is just a random duel I did just for like testing certain thing, but it turned out to be an interesting enough duel for me to want to show you guys. Here they get to go first, so they're going to set up their stuff. So Graceful Charity really gets them ahead, and then they Delinquent Duo me, and they first take out the Thunder Dragon. And here I was questioning on what to take out. Then I ended up taking out the Chaos Sorcerer because obviously it'll get us a Dark in the graveyard, and we won't be able to play it anyways as is, so it's, if anything, it just helps me. And then he sets up all his control stuff. But I get to do Pot of Great, so that's about equally as powerful as Graceful Charity. And then I set up all the stuff: Ring of Destruction, Book of Moon, Scapegoat, Sinister Serpent, and I have a Metamorphosis in my hand, so I can potentially, like, if he was to summon a big monster here, I could potentially Metamorphosis my Sinister Serpent or a Goat token into a Thousand Eyes Restrict to suck up whatever monster he has. So he ends up drawing another Gravity Bind here, and this is when I realized he's on control. So he's playing a burn control deck, basically, is where he just burns over time. And this actually reminds me of the style of deck that I used to play a long time ago, like back in high school when I started getting more cards. I'm like, hey, I have this cool like little burn stall strategy. Like I played things like Gravity Bind, Stealth Bird, Flaming Rage Spray, and Solar Flare Dragon, things like that. Messenger of Peace, like that he just dumped 2 copies of Messenger of Peace. Oh yeah, and that's when I knew it was a stall deck, because he dumped the Messenger of Peace. And I'm like, oh, he's on a stall deck as soon as he played that. And then Stealth Bird's like, oh yeah, it's burn stall. So but I do have my Thousand Eyes Restrict up. I will suck up his Stealth Bird because it's going to be kind of annoying to keep around. I mean, I could have ringed it earlier, but I just decided I just want to suck it up with Thousand Eyes instead. Then he just passes here, so now I wanted to get a bit aggressive here with Kaiku, but he trap holes it, which is fine. He had Swords of Revealing Light anyway, so I couldn't attack that turn. And now he's gonna Ojama Trio me to try to clog up my board, but that doesn't really do anything all game as far as I'm concerned, because I wasn't going to use my entire board space anyways. Then he does his Raging Flame Spray. I do try to ring that, but he does Judgment me, but that brings him pretty low, and that's actually going to be kind of relevant for this duel, because if he had so much more life points, I don't know if I would have been able to actually defeat him in time for him to figure something out. But I'm going to suck up his Raging Flame Sprite now, because I booked my own Relinquish or Thousand Eyes Restrict, so that takes the Stealth Bird off, so now I can suck up his Raging Flame Sprite, and now I have that. And from here, I can't really do too much because it's only a 100 attack guy, so I decided I wanted to actually Tribute Summon my Thunder Dragon out so I can do a little bit more damage, go a bit more aggressive, and try to clean out his life points a bit faster, because I wasn't really doing much up until that point. But then he Gravity Binds me, so I probably should have just kept Thousand Eyes Restrict, because he could have attacked under Gravity Bind. But now I got Lava Golemed, because apparently these things can't be tributed for a tribute summon, but they can be tributed for a cost like Lava Golem. So now I'm going to have this thing that's dealing 1,000 damage to me. I could have dealt with it with either Solemn Judgment or Bottomless Trap Hole, but I decided to keep it around. I didn't think 1,000 damage a turn was going to be that big of a threat right now. But we'll see how that plays out. But then I normal summon Sinister Serpent because it can attack under Gravity Bind, so that's 300 extra damage. So they have like a 10 turn clock or something, 11 turn clock. But I do bottomless the second Lava Golem because 2,000 damage every turn is, it does snowball pretty dang fast. And I didn't want to have that happening. But I do summon back the Sinister Serpent because, it can come back during each standby phase. So now it can keep attacking for 300 until he can't do anything anymore, or until he does something, or he dies. But then I do flip my own Lava Golem with Tsukiyomi, so then I can kill it with Nobleman the Cross Up, because I was halfway down on life points at this point. I didn't want to keep losing life points. Like, I would die faster from life point damage than he would die from Sinister Serpent, so I really needed to get rid of it. And of course, I could have just flipped it face down and let it stay face down, but, he possibly could have had a way to flip it face up. Like, maybe he would attack into it with something and then it'd flip up, you know, so I just wanted to make sure I was out of there for good. You know, I have to do what I have to do to survive in this dire situation. Oh, and it's also worth noting that another reason why I did that is because I realized that I have no Mystical Space Typhoon, I have no Heavy Storm, and I have no Dust Tornado, because remember, this was just like a test. I was testing to see how easily I could get into a goat match, and I was also testing like some recording stuff when I was doing this. So I just threw this goat deck together, just threw a bunch of goat staples together, but I completely forgot spell and trap removal. So the only spell and trap removal I have is Breaker the Magical Warrior. Otherwise, it's like Solemn Judgment, but Solemn Judgment can only be activated when the card is activated. So now that it's stuck on the field, outside of like Breaker the Magical Warrior exactly, I have no way to get out it. And I'm going to tell you right now, I do not draw Breaker the Magical Warrior this entire game. So I'm basically stuck with these gravity binds for the entire game. So I really need to find a way to be able to kill him without dying to his like lava golem stuff. So, you know, I really need to stop all of the damage that's coming to me as much as possible. And now he just sets and passes. I got Kuriboh now, so now I'm actually able to make his clock go way farther down. So it was like a 6, 7, it's like a 8 turn clock or something, I don't know, but now we're cutting that in half with Kuriboh here, which is funny. So now we're going to go into the Kuriboh-Beatdown, or the Kuri-Beatdown, if you will, with Sinister Serpent here. So now he's down to 2,000. You know, he has half as much life points as I do, so he's kind of on the ropes here. And he just passes, and I have Snatch Steal, but doesn't do anything, so I just attack with those two cards again. Now he's down to 1,400. Now he draws that, and he just passes again. So now I'm going to attack with my Sinister Serpent and Kuriboh again for another 300. Now he's down to 800. Now he's just got like a couple turns left to live. What's he? Oh, he's going to Solemn Judgment. Let's see what happens here. Okay, so I actually top deck BLS, which is not going to come play this turn. I just attack him twice. Now he's down to 200. He has a 1 turn clock. He has 1 turn to do something, but he does have a Stealth Bird, which can. Alright, so actually, yeah, Stealth Bird is a bit of a problem here just because of its defense points. 1,700 defense points I cannot get around with my big 300 guys, and since he stead it and he didn't summon it, I couldn't, like, destroy it with any other thing. I couldn't Solemn Judgment it. But this Black Luster Soldier that I summoned last turn really was a big deal for me, because I do have a Light and a Dark in the grave, so I can just use it to banish, because I can't attack, but I can still banish. However, he does Solemn Judgment me, but I Solemn Judgment him back, and the Blackluster Soldier sticks, so I banish it. And now at this point, I still have a Solemn Judgment, so I can attack with one, negate anything that comes my way. So even if this was like something, I'd still have like, I just need one of these two things to go through. And just in case he didn't have anything, I did attack with a Kuriboh, because I really wanted to end the game with Kuriboh here. So I go in for Kuriboh. He does have the Magic Cylinder, but that is met with the Solemn Judgment. Like, I could have just let this gone through too for whatever and just killed him with a Sinister Serpent, but I wanted to make sure that my Kuriboh won me the game. So Solemn Judgment for the game here, and that is game over. He surrenders to Kuriboh right there. But yeah, so there you go. Kuri-Beatdown, everyone, against a Gravity Bind Stall, Burn Stall player. So I hope you enjoyed. It was a blast making this duel, and thanks for watching. See you in the next video.